Hello and welcome back to Let's Play Wrath of the Righteous with me, Bring It On. It's already buffed up and ready to rock. I'm gonna head down this way and see what Crimson Dust has in store for us. Based on the description for the area, probably nothing good.
I'll go ahead.
Hey, you're not demons. I'm saved. Help me. Have mercy. I can't walk. Alright, Sela,
win this war.
make sure it's not a trap.
We won't fall here.
Yeah, see?
I swear it.
Nothing good. Like I said. Sinful Sinu, he is
You should have
chaotic
listened
evil.
to reason. I'll remove this obstacle.
Well, he got in a few swings on Sela before he went down. Oh, we leveled up. 20,000 experience. I didn't think he was that tough. Alright, so that's an upgrade for somebody, I'm sure. Not her, but him. He has a +2. She only has a +1. A lot of scrolls and a recipe. A blazing parfait. Chain shirt of Life Vim. This +3 chain shirt grants the wearer a +4 profane bonus to armor class against the attacks of non-living creatures. And there's a handful of non-living creatures. You have constructs, you have undead, things like that. And profane stacks with almost everything. You don't run across that bonus very often. So definitely not the worst armor in the world. Good amount of loot here. Alright, let's deal with our level ups next. I think we're level 13 now. Yeah. Gendarme at level 13 gets a feat. Mobility and Persuasion. I'm going to go ahead and grab Improved Critical here. So going forward, we can get some of the more fun stuff like Blood Drinker and was it Life Abundant or Life Dominant Soul? Oh, we have Dreadful Carnage. Haven't got that yet. We're going to get this instead. So slaying an enemy demoralizes your other nearby foes. Whenever you reduce an enemy to 0 or fewer hit points, you can make a Persuasion to Intimidate check. Demoralize all enemies within 30 feet as a free action. Enemies that cannot see both you and the enemy you reduce to 0 or fewer hit points are unaffected. So it is dependent on line of sight. So Sela at level 13 gets a feat, an additional use of Smite Evil, and an additional use of Divine Weapon Bond. Trickery, Knowledge World, and Perception. I could give her Improved Critical, so I can swap out the Keen effect on her Divine Weapon Bond to something else. I could also improve her saving throws. Give her like Iron Will. What does this do? Yeah, I'd never give this to a Paladin, because half the effect is wasted since they're already immune to fear. So that +4 to saves against fear just doesn't... Yeah, it's a waste. But Iron Will might be worthwhile. Oh, she doesn't have toughness yet. Really? Did I give her this? I don't remember giving her weapon focus. Yeah, so let's give her toughness instead. Give her some extra HP. And she gets her next set of spells. Oh, Bismuth unequipped all of his items. So I guess whenever he levels up or dies... Oh no, he's died a few times and he didn't unequip his stuff, so maybe it's just when he levels up. Alright, there you go, buddy. Alright, Socio at level 13 gets a feat. For religion, perception, and persuasion. Now, there's a couple things I'm interested in giving him. This is a +4 to initiative. This is a +1. I'm gonna go with Warrior Priest here, because he has been in a position where he's trying to cast something like Guarded Hearth, which we only have the one casting of per day, and he got struck, and he failed his concentration check. And it does give him a small bonus to initiative checks as well. So we'll grab this, and then we'll grab Improved Initiative on the next feat, level 15. So Warrior Priest, you get a +1 bonus on initiative checks, and a +2 bonus on concentration checks. And he gets his next series of spells as well. A land level 13 gets a feat. Athletics, mobility, and perception. And I already know what I want to give him. It's one of the critical feats. Yeah, we're going to grab Staggering Critical. So whenever you score a critical hit, your opponent becomes staggered for 1 to 4 plus 1 rounds. A successful Fortitude save reduces the duration to 1 round, so it's guaranteed, but the duration can be reduced. The DC of this Fortitude save is equal to 10 plus your base attack bonus. The effects of this feat do not stack. Additional hits instead add to the duration. You only apply the effects of one critical feat to a given critical hit unless you possess critical mastery, which we'll probably end up giving him, since he's out of bow feats to take. Alright, Nenu at level 13 gets a feat. Knowledge Arcana, Knowledge World, Lore Nature, and Lore Religion. Oh, and use Magic Device. And for her, I think we need to grab her first Meta Magic. I think it's Persistent that we want. Yeah, this works with Phantasmal Killer. So you can modify a spell to become more tenacious when its targets resist its effect. So whenever a creature targeted by a persistent spell or within its area succeeds on its saving throw against the spell, it must make another saving throw against the effect. If the creature fails the second saving throw, it suffers the full effects of the spell as if it had failed its first saving throw. It increases the spell by 2 levels. And spells that do not require a saving throw to resist or lessen the spell's effect do not benefit from this feat. Makes sense. Alright, Invisibility Mass. And Legendary Proportions. One of my favorite spells in the game. Alright, level 13, Arushalai gets a feat and Favored Terrain. Mobility, Trickery, Stealth, Knowledge Arcana, Perception, and Persuasion. Improved Critical for a short bow. Probably not Desert or Forest or Highlands. The game seems to be hinting we're going to be going to the City of Eyes. That might be worthwhile. We find ourselves on the ground more often than not, so we'll just go ahead and grab that. And more spells for her as well. Oh, and Bucephalus leveled up. Athletics, Mobility. And what does he want? I'll grab a Blind Fight, I think. Alright, let's assign our spells before I forget. So she gets Greater Angelic Aspect, so we can go back and take this off. Could give her a little bit more sustain. I don't know if that's the right call or not. It's not a big deal. I don't think it's gonna make or break. Let's just go do that. It's not gonna make or break anything. And then here, we could do Stunning Barrier. It'll last 1 round per level though. I'd rather have something that lasts longer. Restoration's always good to have on hand. Go ahead and grab that. Yeah, I think that'll do. Alright, Social, what do you get? Go ahead and do that, I think. Another Death Ward. Do Holy Ward here, I think. This could be good. Yeah, maybe we'll just do a couple Holy Words. Maybe 1 Greater Restoration or something. Or 2. They'll definitely come in handy. Alright, so 2 levels up. Oh no. Didn't plan for that, did I? Well, I could do it this way. Well, hold on. Let's take care of this first. See if she's any other open spell slots. Alright, so we don't need this anymore. We don't need Reduced Person because we don't have Reginald in our party. And Enlarged Person is a little redundant with Legendary Proportions. Though you could keep Enlarged Person on hand since Legendary Proportions does require a resource, Dinosaur Bones. If you ever run out of those, then you could fall back on Enlarged Person. But I don't plan on doing that. Let's grab Sleep. I haven't been using most of these. Whoops. Crowd control spells like I should. Usually once I get slow, that's typically the only debuff I cast. I'm a simple guy. Really want to replace these? I need at least 1 casting of this for Bucephalus. Maybe I'll just do 2 castings of this. I could also put it here instead. Yeah, let's do Meta Magic. Phantasmal Killer. Wait, what? Yeah, okay. Wait, can you not do all 4 corners? Yeah, you can. Okay, there we go. Going to write that spell, then at level 6. Going to put 2 castings of this here. Then we have all of our frontliners with Heroism. Or all our offensive. Maybe I'll just do it on Don Quixote, Arushalai, Lan. Actually, these 6 should be swapped around anyway. And Bucephalus. I'm on the fence about that. I always do a poor job of planning for meta magic. I'm terrible about it. Honestly, Hurricane Bow again. It's really good on her. Casting up Sense Vitals, I think. Yeah, we'll do Aspect of the Wolf, I guess. Actually, what bonuses does she currently have? That's only a +2. Yeah, that's a better buff. Alright. A little bit longer than I was expecting.
Follow my lead.
Skinned leather cloak. Whenever the wearer lands a hit on an enemy the first time in a round, the enemy must pass a fortitude saving throw or be partially skinned. Those who fail the save become staggered and take 2 points of constitution drain per round for 1 to 4 rounds. Well, Brutalai sounds like something's right up your alley. +4. There we go. Alright, let's get up here. Alright, well, since we're already out and about, probably a shorter way to get there. I was gonna go straight to Blackwater, but we're gonna teleport back first. Because there's a faster way to get to Blackwater, and one where I shouldn't have to enter the area with Abyssal Corruption. Hold up, Commander. The thing is, remember how that Crusader went missing a while back, when then he was found outside the city walls, disemboweled? Nevia pauses and gives you a searching look. I remember. So has the murderer been found? No, not yet. Nevia seems to scrutinize your face again, then nods to herself. I never gave up on the investigation, even when everybody else stopped digging. I know we're at war, that people are dying left and right. That's no reason to turn a blind eye to crime. That's it, Commander. And the Crusader has just gone missing. He left the barracks to come here. He would have gone past the gates. My gut tells me that the killer won't keep him alive for long. So, Commander, you need to start searching this area right now. Gotta find out where he's been taken. This is all quite unexpected. Death often shows up when you least expect it. It's not like I picked the timing. Tell me about the missing Crusader. He's the youngest son of a poor nobleman from Mendev. He's called something like Relic or Relic. He's young, barely out of the nursery, and he decided that he was a man now, and so off to war he went. You know how it goes. Do you know who the murderer is? I don't have a clue. Nevia's answer comes too quickly, her gaze dropping before she can force herself to meet your eyes. What are you not telling me? I'm telling you the truth, and nothing but the truth. I have my own theories, sure, but nothing concrete. So it's best if I keep my mouth shut on that front. The guy probably just went out to get some fresh air. He'll stroll back at any moment. What's the point in raising the alarm? Listen, Commander. Do you trust me or not? If you do, then just do as I say. Find the kid, then we'll talk. Alright, I'll search for the Crusader. I'll get going then. He passed the gates and took a right. Ask around. Check out the buildings. I'll be waiting for you here. So, this gate? No, not this gate. Hey wait, Commander. That's not gonna work. Need to finish the job. Find the kid. Fine. Just wanted to grab my companions.
As it should be.
Wait, took a right. Wait. Which gate is she talking about? This one? Because if you went through this gate, up here, which I guess doesn't make sense, we're closer to this one. So yeah, probably went this way. I mean, there's an abandoned building,
That
so
is not far.
if I had to merit a guess,
Time's not waiting.
just play it a little safe. We'll have our Trian out in case we get attacked. Oh, it doesn't follow me inside. Okay, I've got like 6 more castings of it.
I'll go ahead.
Good quick save. Your muffled sighs coming from the next room.
How lovely to see you here.
Hearing steps behind her, Camellia whips around and freezes. She glances at the bloody dagger in her hand, and at the dead body at her feet. As she says evenly, her lips quiver for a fraction of a second, before settling into an unimpeachably polite smile. What's going on here?
Socorus is an ancient land. The spirits of these places have spoken to people since time immemorial, and some of those people heard them and were able to respond. The shamans of Socorus were always held in high esteem. They knew the will of the spirits, the will of the land itself. Many Khelids would come to the shamans to learn what the spirits desired in order to gain their support.
Camellia pauses, lost in memories that cannot be her own. Wait for her to continue.
When the world wound opened and the demons poured into Golarion, they drowned Socorus in blood. The earth moaned as it soaked up the blood of Khelids, crusaders, and demons. The spirits drank this blood, slowly becoming deranged and turning into incarnations of madness and pain. Look what Socorus has turned into! It's an open wound on the body of Golarion. The world wound has changed it beyond all recognition. And the spirits, these poor creatures have been corrupted. Twisted by war, they moan and they howl, but only shamans can hear their senseless cries of agony. I am a shaman. Maria, the spirit I am bonded with, is mad and can speak of nothing but her endless hunger for blood. I give her what she asks for. I feed her the blood of crusaders.
Camellia seems suddenly to falter. Breathing grows heavy, and her pupils dilate.
The spirits of Socorus can no longer speak to shamans. All I can hear is the cacophony of their howls, screams, and laments. But there is a way to restore their sanity. By performing rituals. Bloody but effective rituals. When the untainted blood of the Crusaders cleanses the corruption that Maria fed on for centuries, the spirit will regain her sanity and I shall be able to speak to her. I shall be able to ask her advice, to find out how we can heal the world wound. Tell me, isn't this knowledge worth a handful of lives?
This isn't your first or even your second victim, is it? How many have you killed?
Too few. Maria's hunger is still so great. Her pain cannot be soothed by a single victim. But success is within my grasp. I can feel it. It is even possible that today's victim will be the last.
Camellia lifts her chin, but she hesitates before answering. As she says finally, Camellia raises her eyes, and her voice gains a hard edge. Who is this, or who is she, this Mariah of yours?
Forgive me, I forgot to make the introductions. This is Maria. Or rather, this is her home. Or her prison, to call a spade a spade.
The girl removes an amulet in the shape of a bone snake from around her neck.
I caught this spirit a long time ago, and I tried for so long to speak with it. My little demented ball of rage. I felt compelled to bind it to this amulet, just temporarily, until I worked out how to help it.
Camellia sighs sadly.
If I am to be fully honest, her name, Maria, is of my own devising. She is not yet able to speak to me, but I still needed a name to call her by.
The girl gently puts the amulet back around her neck. Why do you think your method will work?
I do not think. I know. I sense things many people cannot. I can infer what the spirits want. For example, there is one spirit hanging over your left shoulder as we speak. It came to enjoy Morea's victim. Can you sense its hunger?
Camellia tilts her head to one side, as though listening for something. Camellia laughs airily.
Spirits are akin to animals. You cannot bring a hungry dog to heel. You cannot stroke a hungry cat. To speak to a spirit, you must first feed it. It is not their fault that after so many years of torment, the only thing that can satisfy their hunger is blood. My ritual will work. I did not read about it in books or learn it from some wizened teacher. You could say that I invented it myself, with Morea's help. I just know that it will work, sooner or later. I can feel it.
Camelia's expression grows serious. I mean, murdering on a gut instinct sounds more serial killer-esque than healing the world wound-esque, so. Now, what exactly are you hoping to learn from this Morea of yours?
The world wound cannot be allowed to poison all the lands of Golarion. The spirits of Socorus know this better even than you and I. They may know how to heal it. And if not, then perhaps they will know how to eradicate it quickly and painlessly. We're fighting against demons. It is a just cause. But imagine we win and the demons vanish for good. Do you think the world wound will vanish along with them? That it's something we can defeat with weapons? That it won't burst open again at some point in the future like an old festering abscess? I am thinking of the future of these lands, of how to heal them and restore them. Would you not agree that a few Crusaders' lives is a price worth paying?
Camellia shakes her head. Who is this young man, your victim?
He's the youngest son of a noble from Mendiv. I believe his name was Rillick or Relic. I think the dolt was in love with me. He was ever so eager to come with me to this house. One hint was all it took.
Camellia looks at the body in surprise, as if she's seeing it for the first time.
He is of no interest to me. Morea wanted his blood, so I sacrificed him. The rest is immaterial.
I don't believe in this nonsense.
That is your right. Just as a mole has the right not to believe in the existence of the sun. A butterfly has the right not to believe in summer. An infant has the right not to believe in death. I have revealed the truth to you. You are free to reject it if you wish.
Camellia gives an indifferent shrug. A contempt flashes in her eyes. Alright, so what are you proposing?
My ritual is not yet complete. I have made the sacrifice. Now I just have to let Morea drink the blood. Will you allow me to complete the ritual?
Camellia licks her lips and takes a small, almost meek step forward. So my first playthrough, I did try to get the good ending for all the companions. But I am split about this one. And I guess you kind of can't anyway, right? Well, maybe you can. They did give me a chance to recruit Wundawag later on. I'm gonna go with 2. Maybe we'll let her complete the ritual in a less good playthrough, but not this time. I swear that you'll stop the killings. Now I'll spare you. This time.
What a pain. But if these are your terms, then I agree.
Irritation flits across Camellia's face, but is quickly replaced by humility.
You know, when I saw you standing there, I thought my life would end tonight, but you spared me. Thank you. I would like to speak with you a little later. Please come and see me. No need to be shy, for I have no more secrets to keep from you. Now, we should leave this place. You go first. I will follow in a few minutes.
Just gonna complete the ritual anyway. You should leave first. Whatever. Camellia bursts out laughing, as she thinks for a moment. Gosh darn it. Alright, well. She's saying her intentions are good. I still think she's evil. I mean, why else would you hide your alignment? Nevia stretches lazily and yawns. Her eyes are fixed on you. Well, Commander, have you solved the problem? First, tell me honestly, what exactly do you know about this crime? Crime? What crime? Nevia says with a smirk, before becoming deadly serious. Listen, Commander. I was just using my brain, following certain individuals, listening to what people were saying on the street. I had my suspicions. But what are suspicions worth? On their own, nothing. I didn't have proof. I'm not Erebeth. I'm not going to go digging for the truth. Because if I dug deep enough, the Knight Commander would be down a companion. Smack bang in the middle of a war. How would that help anything? I'm not going to be the one to scupper this crusade, so I'll be keeping my mouth shut. Neve speaks slowly, staring into your eyes. I trust that you'll handle this in whatever way is best for the crusade. If you want to tell Erebeth everything, go ahead. It's your call. I wonder who comes out on top if I send a Nevia after Camellia. Yeah, the problem has been solved. That's all I need to know. Thanks, Commander. It's actually very insightful of Camellia, or of Nevia. Whoever. One of the two. Letting the Knight Commander deal with his own companion, instead of trying to take matters into her own hands. One, she might not survive, because Camellia's got mythic powers. Where does Camellia hang out at? All the way over here. Alright, let's go talk to her.
Know what to do.
Camellia greets you with a broad smile and licks her lips rapaciously. A demon's dance in her eyes. Hello, my friend. You don't mind if I call you that, do you? I've done a lot of thinking since we last met, like several seconds ago. You had every reason to hand me over to the headsman, yet something stayed your hand. Whatever guides you, your promise to keep my secret makes us accomplices of sorts. Even friends. Shared secrets bring people closer. Don't you think, my friend? She pierces you with her stare, as if she's trying to see inside your head. Tell me about yourself. Is this all new? With pleasure. Friends share everything. What do you want to know? How many people I've killed? Which organ is the most delicious? I'll tell you everything. Tell me about your life in Horgus's mansion. I have no complaints. Had everything I could dream of, except freedom, which I had no need of anyway. I value security and comfort much more than the opportunity to get in trouble firsthand. I had the best fencing teachers. My mentor was a shaman from Varisia. I wore beautiful dresses and ate sumptuous meals. A rich library kept me from getting too bored. A personal garden for my walks. I even had a puppy, a little barking ball of happiness. Some might disapprove of my father locking me up in the mansion until I matured and gained control over my powers. He changed the servants as soon as they started suspecting anything. He even had steel bars installed on the windows. I could see it was because he cared. He was protecting me from the dangers of the world. He was protecting the world from me. Camellia is the name of a flower, right? Yes. It's the only thing I have left of my dearly departed half-elf mother. Father told me that she liked working in the garden so much that she even gave her child the name of a flower. She shrugs vaguely. And there's something else I inherited from my mother. Her beauty. The young woman offers the barest hint of a smile. You know what I like most about those who inherit the features of different races, like you and I? We gain the best of both worlds. By the way, before you start to pity me, I should say that I don't have the slightest affection for my mother. May her soul burn in the abyss. My father took good enough care of me for the both of them. Are you bothered by the fact that Horgus never openly embraced you as his daughter? Why would that bother me? He took care of me and indulged my every whim. To thank him, I only had to lead a secluded life and keep my mouth shut. I understand his reluctance to claim a child born of a servant girl as his daughter. There's nothing wrong with looking after one's social status. Besides, you understand, Deviant society would hardly have accepted me, considering my peculiarities. Tell me about your connection to the spirits. I can barely remember the first time. I was just a girl back then. I only remember someone's voice in my head demanding something. I didn't even understand what it was. I was out in the garden, playing with my precious puppy. I don't know how it happened, but when it was over, the puppy's head was in my hands, and his body was lying at my feet. I remember seeing my father's healers and clerics for a few years, even the exorcists he brought to our house. None of them were able to drive the haunting voices from my head. This continued until the old Varisian woman came to live with us. She explained that I was fine. I was just highly sensitive to the pain of the land that we lived in. The voices in my head were not symptoms of insanity, but desperate prayers for help. Father paid her an unspeakable sum, and she remained at our house, teaching me to talk to the spirits. She was a vicious crone and a nasty piece of work. She'd hit me with a whip just for looking at her. She would yell at me when I failed to communicate with the spirit I summoned. When Father left for a few weeks on some errands, she locked me in the basement at night. Now I see that I terrified the old woman. Well, it was her fault. She should have taken the money and run while she had the chance. I was so happy when the spirits asked for her blood. Camellia licks her parched lips. Looking into her lifeless eyes, I felt such bliss as I'd never known in all my life. Why did you kill her? Surely your father would have thrown her out if you told him what she was doing. Camellia shrugs. Perhaps. Anyway, I don't remember him being very upset when he discovered her corpse in the basement after returning home from his trip. Your amulet is fascinating. I've never seen anything like it. She rests a snake-shaped bone amulet in her palm. You like it. Beautiful, isn't it? But it's more than just an ornate trinket. It's home to one of the spirits. The spirit was so weak when I found her. She was hardly anything but a small shred of rage and madness. I locked her in my amulet, and I've taken care of her ever since. I try to talk to her. I don't know her name, so I'll call her Maria. Her spirit has been growing stronger. She asks for more and more blood. I feel like every ritual bloodletting makes her madness subside. Just a few more, and I'll be able to talk to her and find out how to heal the lands of ancient Sarkoris. So it sounds to me like the spirit she has in her amulet isn't a good spirit anyway, if it's that bloodthirsty. I mean, we just kind of dealt with spirits in Winter Sun. And we were warned against, it could be a demonic spirit? I don't know all the nuances of spirits in Pathfinder, but... tell me about the ritual killings you performed. I killed to learn the will of the spirits of the land. Sarkoris was torn apart by demons, and the blood of many thousands of living creatures poisoned these lands for many years. World Wound keeps growing bigger and bigger. It's no surprise that the spirits of this place have gone mad, and endlessly thirst for more and more blood. Only when bathed in blood can they regain their senses, at least temporarily. But it would be a lie to say I don't enjoy what I do. She licks her lips hungrily. I remember all of them. Every last breath, shriek, and sob. Every fatal stab. Blood running down the blade as I pull it from a victim's heart. The taste of the drops on my tongue. I like to watch the blood pool beneath a body as it cools. By the way, did you know that blood only flows while the heart is still pumping? That was quite a discovery for me. Opened one of my victims and watched her heart slow. Beat, 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 and then silence. Camelia's breath grows fast and heavy. She leaves her chest with a forceful rush. Her pupils are dilated. She seems to look through you, or inside you. Swallowing, Camellia brushes away a strand of hair, dark as night. My connection to the spirits of old Sarkoris is overwhelming. Yeah, your whole face transforms when you talk about murder. I've always dreamed of discussing it with someone other than my father. How fortunate that we're friends now. Tell me, what will happen if the spirits ask you for my blood? I wonder. She sizes you up pensively. There's only one way to find out. Seeing the suspicion on your face, Camellia lets out a short laugh. Haha, I jest, of course. I promise if something like that starts to happen, I'll tell you at once. I'm loyal to you. You can trust me. We're friends. She's saying that a lot. Oh, what do you think of the powers you received from me? What do I think of them? I love them. I've always felt special. My ability to talk to spirits was proof of that. But now I feel I can do anything. Tear someone in half, Demon or human, freeze a beating heart in someone's chest with a simple look, or a mere thought. With a wish, I can make the blood of a living being flow in the wrong direction. Camellia laughs throatily. It is celestial bliss, my friend. I'm grateful to you for giving it to me. Alright, I've learned enough. Have I mentioned that I love our conversations? Sometimes I find severed heads in my bag. Is that your handiwork? What good are they to me? Camellia's voice is bored and indifferent. The moment life leaves the body, now that is exciting. In the moments that follow, when the body is cooling down rapidly, losing the last of its warmth, I am filled with sweet languor. But the cold corpse that remains is just a corpse. It holds no interest for me. We already know that the heads is, Darren. Are you still trying to learn something from the spirit in your amulet? Amareya, the spirit that's locked in my amulet, is only slowly awakening. I need to give her blood to lift the Shroud of Madness, so I can talk to her. Camelia's eyes grow cloudy. The chorus is in pain. I can feel it. As you commanded, I've not fed her spirit. That's why, alas, I haven't been able to lift Maria's madness or heal the land's suffering. Okay. Oh yeah, I have to go. We'll talk later. Visit me again soon. You don't want me to start missing you. Yeah, I'm sure I'm going to regret sparing her later, but we'll deal with that when the time comes. Let's go talk to Horgus real fast.
Ready for anything?
Tran walks so goofily. Oh man, he's not there. He is. I'm listening, Knight Commander. Let's talk about Camellia and her peculiarities. I take it you know about that now too. Horgus sighs heavily. What's the point in discussing it? Go and speak to her. I don't know much about it. A Varisian shaman I hired to help Camellia says she communicates with spirits. Hears their voices or something. Too bad the old woman couldn't help. The voices whispered something to my daughter, and she sacrificed the Varisian to them. Right there in the mansion's cellar. Horgus wipes the sweat from his forehead. What was I supposed to do? I couldn't throw Camellia out on the street. I couldn't turn her over to the guards. I'm her father, you know. Perhaps help was what she needed. I didn't wish to make those incidents public. The Worm's honest name mustn't be sullied by scandal. Despite his whole life being a scandal. That's why I locked Camellia in the mansion, so she would remain out of the public eye. Can't read today. Who knows when a spirit might whisper something to her? I changed the servants every few months, so they wouldn't discover anything they shouldn't. Sometimes thieves snuck into the mansion, or my guards would catch some bandits attacking my retinue while traveling. The roads in Mendev are not very safe. I turned such people over to Camellia to pacify her spirits. I'm telling you this now, and it terrifies me. But I didn't have a choice. Camellia says that she's about to get through to the spirit of Sarkoris, or learn how to heal the land. Maybe it's nonsense, but what if it isn't? What if it's important? You have the right to halt such a crucial endeavor. She's always about to get through to it. Like, you're feeding into this addiction. That's what I'm going to call it. Either Camellia's or the spirits. Olga stops and casts a suspicious glance at you. Don't forget that I'm only telling you this because you found out our secret. If there's a trial or a scandal, I'll deny everything. I will not let anyone disgrace the honored name of the Worms. Alright, if you say so, man. Alright, I'm going to call the episode here. Off camera, I'm going to go and sell some stuff to the merchants. I'm going to go rest, and then we're going to head towards Blackwater in the next episode. Or we could go south. There's that location that revealed itself to the south. I forgot what it was for. It was a quest. What is it? Oh, this one. For Social. So we'll either do this or we'll go to Blackwater, which is which quest? The last gift of a brilliant mind. Or the imposter. Oh, I'll figure it out next time. But for now, thanks for watching. I will see you guys in the next one.